Hey, welcome to another episode of the Whiskey Crusaders. Sorry we're late today, guys. It's been a crazy day. But I got Joe here, of course, from Redbreast. Very excited to have him here. We said we were coming. I know a lot of you guys wanted to still come. We are sold out, obviously, this evening. So if you didn't get here tonight, sorry, you're going to have to watch the show and just go out and buy a bottle. That's my suggestion to you to do that. So I'm going to turn it over to Joe and tell him a little about yourself, and then we'll jump into the Redbreast.
What is going on, everybody? It's nice to meet you virtually. If you couldn't get a ticket, condolences. There's a great lineup tonight. Not to rub it in, but you will learn some fun things from this little podcast here, and maybe you'll go and try some whiskeys for yourself.
Absolutely.
But my name is Joe Nicol. I am the National Irish Whiskey Ambassador for Pernod Ricard. That means I get to talk about all these beautiful Irish whiskeys that we make. That's Middleton, Redbreast, of course, Spot Whiskey Series, and of course the Jameson line that keeps the lights on for Pernod Ricard.
Yeah, kind of important.
And I guess a little bit about myself. I'm in my 40s. I know I don't look it with this tan sitting next to Matt, but I am unbelievable. I've been in the industry for a long time. I was a teacher for a few years, and then I got into bartending because my sister worked at a restaurant, and the money was just better.
Imagine that. Better than teaching. Shocker.
Who would have thought? It probably still is to this day.
Probably so.
And unfortunately, I left the school where I was teaching music, and I went over to the bar. And I started learning about cocktails and wine. And I was fortunate enough for my entry level restaurant. Most people don't get the opportunity to start at somewhere fairly nice, but I got to start at this oceanfront restaurant. Nice. So right away, I got to jump right into like expensive wine and cool dishes and, fancy plate presentations and cool cocktails. Cool. And from there, I just kind of did like the quintessential run. I went from bartending to bar managing, and I've designed quite a few bars, even nice. One here in Texas and
very cool
in Austin. It's a really cool library bar. Shout out.
Cool.
And I got to do some cool marketing work, and I did a lot of cocktail competitions, and that's really where I started to fall in love with like what's behind the bottle, like how to create a cocktail with the juice, and that got me more into what's going on in the juice. Like why do these whiskeys different, and why do these work in different cocktails? And I was just fortunate to have a good run in that. And I got to win some cool competitions and
even better,
write in some magazines. And that kind of puts you on the radar a little bit.
Doesn't suck, right?
That took me into distillation. What's left after you do all that. I started distilling for a gin called Sutler's Gin. Shout out to Scott. Still going on today. We got a gold at the San Francisco Awards for a beautiful small batch of gin. And COVID happened, of course, guys. Yeah. And we all got hit pretty hard.
Great times.
It was a great time. We all got free checks and got to drink a lot.
We did. That was true.
We did, yeah. And those numbers still hurt us today.
Sad but true.
But after COVID, of course, it was my wife's idea to get into the corporate side. A little bit more structure, a little bit more safety. And I had the opportunity to work for a few companies. I chose Pernod Ricard. And I got to work on the sales side with them and really kind of build cocktail programs and build out and do some fun typical sales stuff with on and off premise. And then that got me here. We built an advocacy program recently. We're bringing advocacy back at Pernod Ricard. It's something we've been missing for a little while. And now we have an awesome team of 30 across all of our SKUs and spirits. And I get to be in charge of the Irish team. So I'm a senior BA with 6 cool kids underneath me, and I'm excited to see where this goes. But that's a little bit about my crash course on my industry life.
We're excited because he represents all of our favorite brands. So it's good for us. So he gets to come back and do this multiple times. Lucky guy.
Yeah.
But he gets to do a beautiful whiskey castle, so it doesn't suck. So it's not bad. Of course, if you haven't been here for us, there's a little over 3,300 different whiskeys here. And we're trying a few of them this evening. So we're going to start with, I guess, the history of Redbreast. And then I got Eric one question for him. Hey, Eric, has the AC been turned down?
Yes.
Okay. What'd you turn it down to?
63.
That's an important question, folks.
It's very important because it's still about 103 here, and there's going to be a bunch of people here, lady, and it will suck otherwise. So, fuck that. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about Redbreast, and let's start drinking.
Yeah.
I need a drink because it's been
this guy needs a drink. He's had a long day. Let's take a sip first and let's talk about Redbreast. To touch on what he was just saying, for those of you that haven't been here, but I'm sure a lot of you have, this place is incredible. Like I walked in and I feel like the collection here is better than a Total Wine or like any place that you can go to.
It's way better.
It's incredible.
Eric suffered working there at one point.
There are expressions I didn't know existed on these shelves, which is
from your own brands.
Some from my own brands. No, there's some single cast Redbreast stuff on the shelf, and I was like, "Where's that from?" But no, it's really neat. It's really remarkable what these guys are doing here, and there's not enough of this. I think we need to see more of this so consumers can be brought brought into this world.
Absolutely.
Whiskey can be a scary place and a lot of unknowns and a lot of stigmas. But when you have guys like this putting on courses like this, you can really dive in and better understand the category and kind of work on your own palate and find what works for you. And it's not as scary as you once thought. And I think that's really cool. What we're going to do tonight. There is a stigma on Irish whiskey, of course, but we're going to talk about Redbreast.
I love when someone tells me I don't like Irish whiskey. Oh, that's a nice challenge accepted.
Yeah,
this
challenge
is
accepted.
That's going to work out. And I'm like, this is bullshit. It's all good. I'm like, I told you it was.
Yeah.
You just start with stuff like this and work up to Middleton and to the Dare Gaelics, and it gets insane.
That is fair. There is a little bit of stigma on Irish whiskey, and I think that is a testament to the 1960s when the mash bills changed. Once upon a time, it was more like Redbreast. Redbreast is the longest continuously made single pot still Irish whiskey, and this is the traditional category of Irish whiskey. Before ex-bourbon barrels were introduced in the mid-20th century, and before we started adding corn and doing blended spirits like our delicious Jameson, and even Middleton, very rare, has about 30% of corn distillate in it. But we're going to go back to a time when it was about barley, and it was about tradition, and it was about copper pot stills, and that's what we're going to talk about here. And for those of you that are going to be in class later today at the dinner, I'm going to dive into distillation history as a whole, but we don't have time to do that here. But I'm looking forward to tell you all about the Roman Empire and the Persian Empire and how it affected distillation and how we got to this stuff.
Sounds awesome.
But for Redbreast, you really have to tie everything back to Jameson. Jameson, it's the juggernaut now in 2025. It was also the juggernaut in the late 18th century, early 19th century. And oftentimes, when you look at these distilleries, we live in the States now, so we have all these cool, smaller scale distilleries. Well, we have your MGPs and your LDIs. But in Ireland, once upon a time, these distilleries were built to scale. So much whiskey.
Yeah.
So much whiskey that, in fact, you could afford to let other people have some of it. And that's what would happen. These merchants or these bonders would buy some and put it in their own barrels and then bottle it themselves. So there was plenty of whiskey to go around that typically brands like Jameson, brands like Powers were able to kind of just spread the whiskey love around for a very fair price.
Which we appreciate greatly. Hey, Dick.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Donald, and Donner Pass. See you guys out there. Beautiful Canada and California.
And how that brings the Gilby brothers, which is Redbreast, Walter and Alfred. They're two of three brothers. One brother was already a very wealthy merchant. He got into the merchant game early and was importing fine wine to London. Well, his two brothers got into the same game, and they were also importing wine into London as well. And they did really well. So well, in fact, that within a few years, they had locations all over, one being in Dublin.
Sweet.
And they very quickly branched out and got into spirits, because everyone else was doing it too, especially someone named Mitchell and Sons, which ties in the spot.
They might know something about it too.
You might know something about them. That's a class for the future, but another beautiful story that goes back an extra century on top of Redbreast. So the Gilby brothers are interested in barreling their own whiskey. They got all these barrels, because what you would do as a merchant is you would buy wine by the barrels, bottle it yourself, throw a cool label on it, sell it at your store, and then you're stuck with a barrel. But maybe we roll this barrel down the street and we get John Jameson to hook it up.
Pretty sweet.
And we roll it back
conceptually.
Throw it in the basement.
Throw me some whiskey in there.
They actually did. It's very close. I want to say the original location for Gilby's is like a McDonald's or a Gap now. So not what it used to be.
I think they got hosed on that deal.
They got hosed. But it's right down the street, and you literally would roll this big old fat sherry barrel down the street and roll it back up again. And
as long as it wasn't downhill, that would be so great. Empty was fine.
And some good things and some bad things happened. The good things are the Gilby brothers were very successful, and within a few years, they were selling 1 million bottles a year. Ooh, they had the largest inventory of Irish whiskey outside of the distilleries, and they actually had more than some of the distilleries. We won't get into those details, but they had so much whiskey as a merchant that they were number one. Damn. And that kind of started to tick off the distilleries who weren't being name dropped. So you have this shift where you didn't have to name drop the distillery if you didn't want to, but then people started to get really popular, and then Jameson said, actually, hold on a second, you need to throw our logo on there somewhere. Okay. So it became Castle Grand whiskey, and then a little JJ and Sons on the bottle to let people know, hey, this juice came from over here. You guys might have aged it, but Don't forget where it came from.
Funny.
And that happened with a couple of the large distilleries, the Rowe and the Powers and those guys back in the day. And
didn't they say something with like the name liqueur on the bottle at some
they
point?
did.
Early
Yeah, there
on
was a
too?
liqueur. Yeah, they had a
Yeah.
low proof. They had like a. There's some cool vintage bottles. There was like a 70 proof, and then like a 17 proof, and a Cask Strength.
That's cool.
7-year was kind of their opening launch.
Okay.
And that was a testament to what Jameson was doing at the time too. Jameson was traditionally back in the day a 7-year pot still whiskey.
Oh, okay.
And so it was a little bit of, but that was pretty common. It had you've probably seen the star.
Yeah.
The star on these old bottles. That star used to denote that you were in fact a 7-year-old whiskey.
Ah,
Now we leave it on the
that's
bottle
cool.
just for a little bit of a nod to the history on
Very
the Jameson bottle. But so you have these guys, and of course Castle Grand is not what it's called, right? It's called Redbreast.
Right.
And that is because we changed the name. And about 1912 is the first time you see Redbreast on a bottle. And there are mixed stories as to why we got to Redbreast. One fairly common story is that one of the Gilby brothers was just an avid bird watcher, really loved the birds.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a charming story about the Redbreast. It is the only bird that doesn't leave during winter.
Mm-hmm.
And its coat is this beautiful amber color. And so they
That's
thought
pretty cool.
that's kind of romantic, right? It's this bird that sings all winter long. It sticks around and it's got this beautiful color. Let's call it Redbreast. Another story is that it was already nicknamed Redbreast because of the color of the bottle. And at the time, a lot of Irish people were illiterate. So you actually didn't read the label. You said, I'll take the red bottle or I'll take the green bottle. That
I
actually
never thought
ties
about it.
into
That's a good point.
it ties into spots too. The reason the spot whiskeys had spots of paint on them is because oftentimes employees were illiterate and it was easier to say the blue, the green, the red, the yellow.
I never thought about that from the literacy.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So some people say the nickname was already Redbreast, so it was easy to segue into
Interesting.
Redbreast, and then some say it was very purposeful and it was about the bird. I think both stories are great, and it still tells the story of
Either way
Irish
works.
whiskey, right?
Absolutely.
And so we get Redbreast 12, and then it's successful for quite some time. And 1912 is kind of an unfortunate date because what happens a few years later, and we'll touch on some of this in class
Doesn't go
later.
so well.
It just doesn't go so well across the globe. We have Prohibition in the States, which was the number one buyer of pot still whiskey.
Stupid.
And then we have the War of Independence, which is another big bummer because now the Northern Ireland teams up with the Crown and the Republic of Ireland says no thanks. And because of that, the Crown slaps them on the hand and cuts them off from the British Commonwealth as well. So Republic of Ireland went from the top of the world to almost zero exportation. Fun little fact I'll share later too about Irish whiskey. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, it was the number one consumed spirit in the world.
Wow.
Over a quarter of global consumption was pot still Irish whiskey. It was what we look at tequila and vodka combined in right here in 2025. And because of Prohibition and the War of Independence and very quickly World War I, World War II, with the grain shortages and the fuel shortages, it was just a bunch of unfortunate things back to back.
Yeah, to say the least.
It was unfortunate. So we go from a quarter of the global consumption, killing it, about 1,200 distilleries or so at its peak, not licensed, but about 1,200 distilleries.
Licensed.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
when you put that into perspective, we all love our Kentucky whiskey and American whiskey. Kentucky and Ireland are about the same size. And Kentucky, how much? What are they up to? 200 distilleries? Maybe not even?
Something like that.
So imagine 6X in the same
Good
size of a
Lord.
country.
Well, yeah, because I think like back in Kentucky originally around 3,000.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been in a long time. Really, it was about 10 for a while because it was the same problem, Prohibition, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Now like you said, there's a couple hundred at most. But yeah, it's pretty wild. Same problem, I guess, of course, happened in the Irish industry too. Didn't work out so great, but we'll talk about that later.
We will talk about that as we journey through these Redbreast SKUs. So we go from all these distilleries and this massive global scale of consumption and performance, and we're down to 3. And the 3 left are Powers, Jameson, and a place called CDC, Cork Distillery Company, which would become where Middleton would be. So CDC decided that they would take on production. So the last 3 joined forces in fear of going extinct, and they're not going to cannibalize each other anymore on the internal market. They're going to do what they can to bring Irish whiskey back. And they did a lot of good work. Jameson and Powers and CDC brought a lot of brands that we see on the shelves now back to life. They were making distillate and helping their neighbors and trying to put Irish whiskey back on the map. It is one big family over there. To this day, there's still a lot of help. There's still like some no name drops, but some distillers will make some juice and send it over to another to help out. They're one big happy family, and they're very proud of their culture and their whiskey.
There we go.
Yeah. And where does that leave me off?
I guess we should.
I start talking a bunch.
I know it happens.
Okay, so yeah, we're in the 60s.
Yeah,
and we're bouncing back. We're bouncing back in a big way because we're going to become IDL. And then IDL means that eventually Pernod Ricard is going to buy us. True. And eventually we buy the Redbreast name from the Gilby brothers. Okay. And we now own Redbreast. And that gets taken on by Billy Layton, who was the master blender in the 90s. And the Crockett guys, as I'm sure you guys have heard of, Max and Barry.
We might know about them. We might have some bottles that have their names on them.
Some pretty famous guys that helped bring Redbreast and Spot and some of these classic whiskeys back to life.
Absolutely.
And I guess fast forward a couple more decades, and here we are. Redbreast is the #1 award-winning pot still whiskey in the world. Middleton is now the most award-winning international distillery as of a few months ago.
Nice.
We're very proud of what's going on over there. And between our portfolio of Irish whiskey makes up for 80% of the Irish whiskey category drink across the world. So we're very happy about being able to be resilient. That word always comes to mind with the Irish and Irish whiskey.
That's for sure.
Without fear, that Sentimentu on the Jameson bottle that comes to mind too, because you got to take everything you can in stride and do it the best with what you got, and they did that. And here we are.
That's right. There was another fourth distillery. We didn't talk about them. And
it's Northern Ireland. It doesn't count.
Shitty Northern Ireland.
It doesn't count. Anyway. Although they make some great stuff.
They do.
Yeah, that 21.
We went over theirs too. Yeah, but
no name drops.
Don't leave us out.
No name drops. So that's going to bring us in. We're going to have to work through these SKUs. We're going to share quite a few SKUs with you guys here on camera, and then we're going to taste these later. We're going to run through these, and we're going to sip on these. We're going to sip on,
absolutely.
We're going to sip on 12.
Yep.
12 is our flagship, right? This is our entry-level whiskey, which is great because who has a 12-year-old entry-level whiskey? It's a great year.
That is a good point.
There's
not too many runs. We'll just start at 12.
Yeah, we're just going to start at 12.
It's a good place to start.
So no big deal. We're going to do 12. And what's famous about these guys, and really with Irish whiskey, is a lot of sherry presence and a lot of bourbon presence. And I guess that ties into the category real quick. Just 3 key facts about Irish whiskey. It has to be made in Ireland. Duh. That's kind of across the board with whiskey.
Seems slightly
with different whiskeys. Bottled at 80 proof or higher. That's pretty consistent too across all of our subcategories. But what's really cool about Irish whiskey, if you didn't know this, the maturation rule must be aged for a minimum of 3 years in wooden casks. Vague.
Yeah.
Whoever wrote that rule had the foresight
smart
to really play the game. So we're not beholden to virgin American oak like you are in the States. We're not beholden to oak species like Scotch. We have the freedom to play around with all these fun barrels as a first fill or a second fill. We don't have to start out with virgin oak or even start out with ex-bourbon if we don't want to.
That's true, which is nice.
We're going to see that across this Redbreast portfolio. None of these are alike. There's a tertiary cask in most of these. One of them has 4 casks, the beautiful Redbreast 18 that came out last year. But this kind of just leads us into 12 real quickly. And this is going to be ex-sherry and ex-bourbon. And it is 12 years aged separately. And then they're brought together. So it's not like 10 and 2 and we're calling it 12. It's not compound aging, which is totally fine. It's more of a component aging and then the blending of the two.
Okay.
And across the Redbreast, for those that are wondering about the percentage, hey, how much of that bourbon barrel is in that bottle, Joe? How much of it is sherry? I would say a good portion of these SKUs, if not all of them, we're looking at predominantly bourbon. We're looking at your 51%. We're right around there. And the other half is going to be some of those wine flavors. Nice. And that's going to play into tannins. And we're going to talk about that later with Kirkus Alba and Kirkus Rover and oak species. There's a lot of tannin in Kirkus Rova. And so it's really nice to put a little bit more of the Kirkus Alba in there. We're going to get those vanilla flavors and less tannin and less of that astringency. We have a guest. Taco Bell just showed up. Sorry, guys. Matt ordered Taco Bell on DoorDash. And I just got here.
It's our amazing Chef Dwight. Good to see you there. He's making our awesome dinner this evening. So you guys haven't seen down there at the Outpost 36 or Horizon 7 down there in Keller, go check them out. And lots of great food we'll be having later. And we'll take pictures and let you guys do it. I have to go down to his restaurant and check it out. So I guess move on to the 15 because I need whiskey.
Yeah, let's drink some whiskey. So 12 fun facts. So ex-bourbon, ex-sherry, and it's going to be the only expression that comes in at 80 proof, and it is chill filtered. The rest are going to be 92 and up, non-chill filtered.
Perfect.
So let's go ahead and grab this 15.
Yeah. Hold on, guys. 1 second. I think we'll just use the bar. I think that makes the easiest sense for the dinner. We'll move obviously all that junk out of your way. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think let's use the full bar. I think that works. Does that work for you? All right, we'll do that.
Oh, we're gonna get in there.
Perfect. I had 15 in a while, so I'm excited to.
The key
give it a
difference,
whirl again.
15. 92 is obviously a jump, right? 12 is,
Yes.
is a significant jump in ethanol.
Smells good.
But 15 is first fill and second fill bourbon and sherry.
Okay.
And so for those of you that are still getting into whiskey, I like to look at it as like a tea bag. When you put a brand new tea bag in a hot glass of water, that's the tea you're looking for, right? Now imagine getting a new hot glass of water and putting that same tea bag in there for your second.
Not so great.
Not so great or great. In the
Great
case
for whiskey.
In the case of whiskey, great. And tea,
Not so much.
Not so much. No, but what's happening there is you have expunged quite a bit of the flavor esters, if you will, out of the oak. And that allows the natural esters of the distillate to just sit there and thrive and shine. Right. And you get tropical notes out of a pot still distillate that's going into a second fill. And so for me on 15, I'm getting pineapple. I've heard people say banana, stone fruits. But you're getting the vanilla that you like from the first fill, and then you're going to let it rest in a second fill. You're getting the spice that you love from the first fill, Oloroso sherry, but then you're going to get a second cask as well. And it just really allows the spirit to open up. 15 to me might be one of my favorites. Like if with the core line, 15 is up there because it's very uniquely done. The others don't do this, and it's just gorgeous.
Absolutely. Cheers. Hey, Steph, you can just drag it to the back.
Donald, I see you say, I remember when Green Spot had a 10-year age statement. Guess what, buddy? Top secret. Just came in on Instagram, hot off the press. 10-year single cask.
Ooh.
It's coming out.
Nice.
Probably fiscal F27. That means to us July 1st of 2026. So hopefully we're going to look at that next fiscal or maybe 2 fiscals down the road. But
very cool.
10-year single cask Green Spot is coming.
Oh, it's delicious. It's a good place to go. So I know Adam will be here in a little while, so that'll be good. What else we got? I know Wade's coming here in a little bit, so that'll be great. Ben Deemer, good to see you there as well. Good times.
Oh yeah. So now the natural progression here would be to go to 18, but to me 18 has 4 casks, and it is this super rich, delicious fruit bomb. And so I think we're going to go to a different bottle. I would hate for 18 to take your palate to a place, and then you won't be able to taste some of the others. But how do you feel about Cask Strength 12?
Sounds great.
Let's do it.
I won't say no. Yeah. It was one of my favorites. I got an old 2016 Cask Strength up there.
Oh, and it was like 115 proof. Yeah, it was a little bit hotter.
So good.
Yeah, so we're looking at 114 here. We're looking at cask, and of course that means we're not adding any additional water to that. Amazing. So this is also a sleeper for you guys that love your bourbon, love your higher proof stuff. Get your hands on some Redbreast 12 cask or even the Blue Spot cask. It is there's some gorgeous Cask Strength Irish whiskey out there that I highly recommend you get your hands on. And they're fairly affordable too. I want to say this bottle will go for about $1.25.
Yeah.
So the Beastie Boys are about to start playing behind us.
Yeah, usually this was planned for earlier, but things didn't go well at the other place. So this is the setup you guys never see, or you're just getting to hear in the background. The insanity prior to a masterclass is always crazy.
Right. So because there's no additional water in here, we're not proofing this down. There are certain esters that will come to light without the H2O getting mixed in there. And when you taste this side by side with 12, and then side by side with 12, maybe with some extra water, or even Cask Strength with some water, you can really bring some really neat flavors to light.
Absolutely.
I'm a big fan of water. I know a lot of you guys like your whiskey neat, but man,
do some pretty cool things. You drop some water in there. That's for sure. It does
some really cool things. You reduce that ethanol, and then you let some of these esters shine. And a really fun fact about adding water, for those that aren't the biggest fans of it, the blenders themselves, actually, when they're blending these and putting these back together, they do 50-50.
Which is wild.
Which I don't do that much, but just to show you, like, when they're looking for flavors and making sure they're bottling the right thing, they're going 50-50 to make sure that they're just being consistent with these SKUs.
Right.
And then your awards, like San Francisco Spirits, these guys that are tasting whiskeys and throwing these gold awards on everything, they also do 50-50.
Wow.
So there is something they're onto something. Now, for me, I'm like 2 ounces of whiskey, maybe a quarter ounce of bottled water. I'm not going to go 50-50, but I do agree. And if you have a favorite whiskey now, take your top 5. And I bet if you add water to your top 5, and you typically don't, I wouldn't be surprised if your favorite would change.
Be interesting to see what
it changes the flavor profile quite a bit. But
I would imagine.
that's Cask Strength.
Absolutely. Hey,
So
Burbank, good to see you. Hey, here, take my laptop bag to the back, too.
We have a really fun series of Redbreast, you guys, called the Iberian series. You might be familiar with that. That is where we take Redbreast pot distillate, and you're looking at between 10 and 13 years. There's no age statement. But there is one coming. The Iberian series will be 12-year moving forward. Yeah, and that's coming around the same time as Green Spot 10.
Hey, you're really making it rough for us. Apparently.
I know. There's going to be. I'm just trying to make sure you have room on your shelf when all these things come out.
Oh, absolutely. We have room for more Redbreast always, and more spots.
This is one of my favorites here.
Yes.
So the bodega that we typically use when we're using all these Oloroso sherry barrels is going to be the Antonio Baez, and this is from the lovely Lustau, which I'm sure you have seen at restaurants, probably offered on a dessert menu of some kind. This is like a high level, luxury sherry, if you will. And so we're going to take our typical ex-bourbon and our ex-sherry, but we're going to give it an additional finish in this kind of luxury Oloroso. And for those of you that like that sherry addition to Irish whiskey, which is, to me, sherry is what makes Irish whiskey. That's where the magic happens. To each their own. I never like to tell people what you're going to taste. To me, I get a little bit drier notes. We're adding more wine, of course, and Oloroso is a little bit on the drier side of the spectrum of sherry. When we get into Pedro Jimenez, it's on the sweet side of sherry, which gives it a completely different finish. But Lustau is one of the crowd favorites. Whenever I'm doing these things, Lustau seems to be one everyone wants to get their hands on.
Yeah, and later on we might compare some of these for the after party fun, some of the older expressions.
Ooh,
because who says no to that? Like I said, if you guys, of course, have been to master classes, at the end, of course, is an awesome bottle sharing. God knows what always shows up. Always a good time.
The Redbreast 10 Whiskey Uncensored, that is something that is going to be staying in Ireland, just like your Jameson Crested and some of those expressions that they like to keep close to heart.
We have friends. They bring them back for us.
That's
they're
fair.
Awesome.
Yeah, that just means next time you're over there, put a couple in your suitcase.
Right. Yeah, in fact, we had somebody just bring us back a Jameson Crested the other day. He's like, you don't have one? It's a pilot that goes there every week. I was like, sweet. So, and it's really good. So I had not had that one prior, so that was nice.
And the good thing about whiskey in Europe being bottled in 700 mLs means you can fit one extra bottle in that 1.3 gallon rule that they have.
Hysterical.
Yeah, you can bring an extra bottle with you.
That's too funny. I did not know that.
But that Redbreast 10 is cool, and that label is really cool. It has this kind of cool old world font on it.
That's cool. Oh, that's so good.
Oh, Donald, good correction. You're right. Jameson Crested and Jameson Single Pot still are in Canada.
Okay.
They are in Canada. That's right.
Nice. Well, you're lucky, Donald, because we don't get it here.
You're lucky.
It's really freaking good. It's done very well in some of the private classes, too. We're going to get some, you go to Ireland? I guess apparently you can also go to Canada. It's your other option.
Yeah. The Jameson Crested is so fun.
Yeah.
And the single pot still is cool, too.
I haven't tried that one yet, but yeah.
Kind of ode to what Jameson used to be.
Nice.
There's some variants in there, but...
Sure.
All right. Now, from Lustau, we're going to get into the...
rapid fire version, guys.
Rapid fire, guys. There's so much whiskey. If you're drinking along with us,
yes,
that means you have a great collection. Good for you.
That's right. Exactly. It's hiding there somewhere.
Let's go here. Let's go
Tawny.
Right. You know what's great about this is I cannot get this in Chicago all the time.
Really?
So I'm pumped that we get to do this.
Were you able to find yourself an extra bottle while you've been here?
I'm gonna buy one from your guy. Yeah.
I was like, because otherwise I was gonna get you one if you couldn't find one. So I know a place that has a couple right now. So that's the other good one.
These really are, we're doing these one at a time, rapid fire, obviously. But when you do these side by side and nose them back and forth, do a little bit of water, do a little deductive tasting.
That'll probably be later this evening.
These are wildly different. There's like a plum thing going on with this port. It is so good. It's like a plum and spice.
Oh yeah, it smells. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of that like mule spices on there, which is nice.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Man.
that's really good. Pretty freaking great.
It
So
almost
when-
feels like a
yeah.
braggadocious podcast where we just
It
drink cool
does.
stuff and
Though that's half the fun of this.
and go, ooh,
That's
yeah.
why you come to a masterclass, the Whiskey Cast, is you get to try this stuff. That's the whole point. Otherwise, I'm sorry, you'll have to just go buy your own bottles. Or if you're lucky enough, like I said, you enjoy something tonight, our buddy Andy from Noctis Liquor, of course, you can always buy off from him. And he will take good care of you.
Yeah. You know, Matt, I have been dumping to save myself for this long evening, but I'm going to finish this.
I think it's a
This-
good choice.
I miss this. This one is so fun.
What you really created was a beautiful blend. That's really going on.
Wow.
Really great. It's PX.
PX it is.
All right.
PX is the sweet end of the spectrum, you guys.
I was very excited when these came out. I was like, oh
There you
yeah,
go.
track these puppies down immediately. It's very important.
With these, I get like a deep red fruit. I get a cherry thing happening.
Yeah. I'm sorry you're not home, Donald. I know because Donald has all of these for sure. He knows more about Irish whiskey even than I do. He's writing books on it, all that fun stuff, to say the least. We call him Irish Whiskey Yoda. In fact, his top shelf over there, he's our sponsor for it.
This is very specific, but I buy frozen black cherries and put them in my protein shakes. And
Okay.
it reminds me of the way that the frozen black cherries smell
Okay.
when I blend them up.
I
I
can
don't
see
know.
that.
I don't know why that's what I'm getting for this right now, but
No, I could totally see that, though. That's cool.
there's no wrong answers in tastings, right? Unless someone says pizza, then I'm like, get out. Yeah.
There's no, as I
yeah.
tell people, there's definitely no wrong answers, and they're all good. The answer is, because obviously tasting is based on your memory and your preferences, so I can't tell you you're wrong. It's impossible. Oh, it's so good.
It's denser too.
It is definitely,
It
has
has
a
this
thicker
density.
feeling to it, for sure.
And 18 is going to just kind of go from there. Once you go 18, 21, 27, we are going to get a little bit into that viscosity.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Do you have a favorite? Does it vary?
Usually, probably the 21 is probably generally my favorite.
Yeah.
Because it's just really freaking special. It's probably, it's not Middleton Dare Gaelic. That's not fair. But,
Yeah.
this is, I think the 21 is my favorite of the one that I have on a regular basis.
Do you guys have a favorite out there on the virtual world?
Absolutely.
What's your favorite Redbreast? If you're coming tonight, we will share a dram because we got them all.
That's right. It's going to be good times.
Before we get into the depth of 18, we're going to
Okay.
back up and we're going to do the Virgin American Oak with the Missouri.
All right. Yeah. This
I
is
don't
what I've
know.
not had, guys. So I'm excited to try that.
This was the LTO, limited time offer in the sales world. And this is an ode to preserving the Ozarks. A lot of
Okay.
lumber is going to be coming from Missouri and from the Ozarks. And we work with a professor at University of Indiana who is one of those conservationists.
Okay, very
and
cool.
this was a little bit of a nod to making
Awesome.
sure we're being conscious of the animals and the flora and
Slightly
fauna.
slightly
that
important last time I checked.
we need them, but we also need whiskey. So you got to be mindful of both. But
We need both. Plants and new trees, you're in good shape. Obviously, I know it takes a couple hundred years, but hey.
this is a part of the American Oak series, you guys. I'm not sure. It's hard to drink it in front of you. I don't know how much of this you can actually get. I think there might be a few in Texas. The Missouri's just about gone, and I think Kentucky Oak is gone. That came out a few
Now,
years
the
ago.
good news is you spoke of that. He's never had it, so I happen to have it, so I want to do these side by side.
Let's do it side by side.
In fact, I got a couple glasses here.
Over here. My permission to just. Would we be able to use this for the appetizer or no?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
that's what we're going to serve the appetizer. So yes, so you can go up here. That's all. That's all. This is just for the appetizer.
All right, so we're going to compare them. Which I've never had the Missouri, he's never had the Kentucky, so it should be fun to have the two of them together.
So two things with Kentucky and Missouri. Kentucky is about 3 to 7 month finish.
Okay.
And Missouri Oak is longer. You're looking like 11 months plus.
Very cool.
And then when it comes to like tannins and why they taste different, the Kentucky oak typically is a little bit less dense than the Missouri oak.
Interesting.
I have had people tell me, again, I haven't had Kentucky oak yet, but I have been told that Kentucky oak leans bourbony. It leans more into the bourbon world, and then our Missouri is going to have a little bit more of the spice side of it.
They're vastly different.
Yeah, and they come in at like 102 proof, about 101, 102.
Yeah.
Which order did you put?
101. Okay, so that's your Kentucky and that's
Cool.
your Missouri. I like the Missouri a lot better. So good news. So if you can find either one, obviously buy the both. The solution. If you can only find one, buy the Missouri.
Kentucky has this lingering sweetness, just like the vanilla and the lignin, like that vanilla bourbon flavor.
That people that really like bourbon really enjoy the Kentucky version. But I think if you're more of an regular Irish or Scotch fan, you're really going to like the Missouri. There's no wrong answer, of course, neither of these. But for my preference, I like the Missouri. I just like that a little bit of sweetness and difference to that. But the good news, like I said, if you're coming tonight, you get a chance to try it.
Man, they have crazy different smells too.
That's crazy that these start as the same thing, and then that little bit of that oak finish makes a vast difference in it. Yeah, wow.
There's so much, like, to me on the Missouri, this orchid fruit up front that I don't get on the Kentucky.
Right.
Kentucky, I get like marzipan and brown sugar, and then I get like an apple pie kind of. Oh man.
I guess I'm gonna tell anyone to buy Missouri off of them now.
Hopefully the master blender's not watching this, but I do think I like Missouri a little bit more. They're both great, Dave. They're both great. Yeah, I mean, I kind of just want to sit on these two for a little bit. These are great.
I won't say no to that. They are quite delicious.
I'm excited for those of you that are going to make it because I do have Missouri here, and it's going to be part of the experience.
Absolutely.
Man. All right. Ooh. Matt, how long have you been doing this?
Whiskey itself, since I was 5.
That makes sense. That actually checks out.
My grandparents made me make cocktails, so literally since I was 5, they're making cocktails. So I'm like drinking, like actually trying things 10 at the latest. We try, of course, when we were younger, but I know it just sounds ridiculous at that age. But I grew up in bars, so that's what we did.
Yeah.
You just, everybody's house had a bar in it, and so you go in there and try things. The other thing is, the same thing with my house. You can't have it be a mystery with your kids there. You want to be like, I don't drink someone else. I'll drink in my house. So, like, you want to try something? Go ahead. You give them a little bit. They're like, oh, it's really good. Perfect. Good. But that way, it's controlled. You know what they're doing.
Yeah. How long have you been doing this?
So we've been doing Whiskey Crusaders for 6 years. In 2019, we started the YouTube channel. We used to do these events actually in my house, which was insane. And then after COVID, I was like,
that's insane.
No more house parties like this. So we built this place. We've been open for 18 months now here. And this took us about 2 years to end up building it out. But yeah, we turned into a full castle, and people think we're insane, but that's good. We are, which is good. But people are like, you want to do what? I'm like, yes, we're going to build a castle whiskey, and we're going to teach there about it. It's not a bar. It's an adult education facility. So it's a good time though. So I'm very excited to try this 18. It's a school, and if you look on Google, it's exactly what it is. We're listed as a school. So
it's called a gray area.
That's right. It's called Smart.
Redbreast 18. This is the newest edition. This is Dave McCabe's baby. It came out in October. Man down around the corner.
Yes, thankfully it wasn't whiskey.
It came out in October and it won gold, which was awesome for those of you that keep up with those things. It also got 93 points, which is very nice of them to give us that high of a score. And this is the first time we've done four casks.
Okay, so what are the 4 casks in this one?
You're going Oloroso. You're going ex-bourbon, like we do kind of across the board.
Right.
And then we're going to do ex-port. And then we're going to do cream sherry.
Okay.
And cream sherry is where you do the dry sherry and you do a sweet sherry like PX and you 50-50 them. So you're going to get a little bit of notes from both sides of the spectrum.
Very cool.
And it's 18 years minimum in all 4, and then they come together harmoniously after being aged separately for 18 years.
Yeah.
This is like a autumnal fruit and spice. Like give me a October weather and a football game on TV, and then hamburgers on the grill and some Redbreast 18.
There you go. That's a hell of a day. They're in the back. We'll get them. We don't need them right now. I know exactly where they're at. We'll get them. We'll be done in a few minutes.
This doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It's like Robert Downey Jr. He doesn't stop making movies. This, like, it just keeps changing. It has so much flavor.
Oh, that's good.
And it has this texture and this velvety creaminess to it. And
That's cool.
of course, that's from the unmalted barley too from the beginning. But there's something about
That's beautiful.
that 18-year sweet spot of Irish whiskey.
That's pretty fucking great.
It is fantastic. Maybe it'll be your new favorite. We'll see.
It might be. I don't know. That's pretty great. Wow.
Yeah.
Later tonight, we'll do a comparison of all of them. It'll be fun.
Like every time I sniff it, I just my
this is
nose can't
wild.
make up its mind of what I get.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a ball of this too.
I know that it's going to be oddly specific.
Yeah, it's like those
But,
two things I've never
it's-
had.
it's-
These are them.
It's biscuity, but it's
Yeah.
almost like jam. Like I'm spreading jam on a fresh biscuit. There's like this biscuity quality to it when these berries at the same time.
Yeah, it's like a black raspberry jam on top of like almost like an English muffin.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. And I'm hungry.
Yeah, exactly. Good dude. We have really good food coming.
Being English muffins for dinner.
Mm-hmm. What's it retail? Like
Wow.
$250 on 18, something like that.
That is a good question. I unfortunately get to travel the whole country and things.
Yeah,
things,
it's right. That's
things
fair.
change everywhere.
All over the place. Sure, it's very regional.
I think it is. If I would guess, like give or take $25, $250.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And
Good news is Andy will be here and he can help you later this evening about acquiring one if you'd like to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Noctis Liquor will take care of all your whiskey needs.
He also does layaway, so you can.
There you go. He's got like
$20 a week. Yeah. Sorry, Andy. Yeah.
He's like, no, damn it.
Andy doesn't do that. I'm just kidding. It's good.
It's like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that would be pretty funny though. I need my whiskey at layaway. Although you never know.
I would be in debt up to my ears if I could lay away.
So bad.
If I could lay
I
away
have like a locker. just-
guitars and whiskey, I would be in debt.
right. It's a large. I just like a small closet. It's like it's good.
Pardon me, folks. I got to open up some fancy boxes to
All
get
right,
to these
the
next
fancy ones. Look at this. Ooh, beautiful. See, this is the kind of box that sing to you, and I really like it when they open like that.
And you open, there's a dancing ballerina in there.
There you go. So $300 in Canada. Okay.
18 is
Yeah.
300 in Canada.
Everyone is Canadian dollars, so that's probably about right. Probably
That's
about
fair. Our
240.
dollar sucks there. That makes sense. Yeah. 21.
All right.
And this really is just time in the barrel, right?
Oh,
Esterification, the acids in the wood and the ethanol and the distillate, just having time to come together and make new flavors. I like to think of
Absolutely.
21 as like the painter. And you're trying to make blue, and the distillate's green, and the barrel's yellow, and the end result is blue. And there's just something beautiful.
This makes magic.
This one is pretty magical. There's a reason this one continues to win all kinds of awards and kind of crush its category.
Oh, yeah. That's
It's just
good
richer.
shit.
Really, it's just
It
like
is.
taking everything we've had and just like
Yeah,
a touch richer.
My 21's probably like a 2016 that's up there. Oh, it's so good.
it'd be interesting to see what a 9-year-old
Oh,
open 21 tastes like.
we'll be doing that later. Don't you worry. Come after party. We'll be doing that for sure.
Yeah, this is just, it's like unfair. It kind of spoils whiskey for you when you get to sip this kind of stuff. But
Like I said, people totally don't like Irish whiskey. I don't play fair. I'm like, here's your 21. Well, this is fucking awesome. I'm like, well, I know that's why I gave it to you. And now you like Irish whiskey. Like, you're a bastard. It ain't gonna cost me a bunch of money. I'm like, well, why would I not? What are you doing? Crappy whiskey? Good stuff.
and there's some affordable good stuff out there. Right?
Yeah, he said he's
Redbreast
yeah.
12's not too bad.
No, it's not bad at all. Yeah, he used to get back for $250 back in the day in a 2016 bottle. Still
Oh, yeah.
nice.
Yeah, a lot has changed geopolitically to
Yeah.
get that price. Things just go up.
Absolutely, but it is really great. So it's just older, and this one is just same exact.
Ex-bourbon,
simply older.
ex-sherry. Yeah,
Same percentages approximately.
92, approximately same percentage.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
There's some things I don't share.
Yeah, obviously.
When the camera's off and you're here, I'll
That's
whisper
right.
in your ear the percentages, but don't go home and try to make it because I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah,
I can't tell you everything.
That's
Yeah.
always so funny about distillers. Like, because I have your still at my house and your water
Yeah.
source.
Yeah,
Oh, and your
exactly.
master distiller.
Yeah,
And
your yeast
and all your
strain.
grain. Yeah, and your yeast and all your grains and the farms they came
Yeah.
from. Yeah, good luck with that.
I know it is kind of funny. We
It's
can't share the
hilariously funny.
details. Yeah.
What about 2 years ago? Man, you got a really good price. Man, they've been $255 here in a long time. It's a sweet deal. All right, here's the big bad boy of the evening.
Yeah, it doesn't get better than this, and unless you can get your hands on a Dreamcast 30,
I might have tried a couple of those.
you got to get that. I think you got to get that in person.
You get it in person. You have to win the lottery to buy it. Thankfully, we had a buddy. He won the lottery for both the Dreamcasts. The
How did
first
he
two.
win both?
Don't know.
Did he enter like a million times?
I don't know. He is a multimillionaire, so he probably had the money and didn't
He
give a
probably
shit.
just
He probably
got to do
did.
it, yeah.
But either way, and he was a super awesome guy, and he shared it, so that was even better. But yeah, we had got a chance. We actually did a comparison of the Dreamcast to my favorite Gaelic.
Which one?
The Grinnellswood, the very first one from 2015.
Oh man,
Oh God,
those are so fun, and they're
so freaking awesome.
Irish oak is it just
Oh my
it makes the
God.
spirit taste like
Wow.
something I can't even pinpoint.
This is definitely different than the one. We'll do the one. We'll do the 1 and the 5 later tonight.
This is batch 5.
Yeah.
They're on batch 6. I don't think 6 is distributed. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I don't think 6 is here in the States yet, but it has been bottled.
Now,
5.
this one's a port finish, right? On this one.
Yeah. They all are. Yeah,
They all are, okay.
27 across the board is going to be export. It's not just finish. It's export, ex bourbon, and ex sherry.
Okay, it's also
So there is a 27 years of sitting in a
God.
port butt. Yeah.
okay. That one is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's cask strength, but
Oh,
at 27 years, cask strength means like 101 because you're losing
Yeah.
2% a year. And
so this, if you guys
Yeah.
get a hold of this batch 5, this is actually super close to the Middleton Gaelic. This is unbelievable.
it's so great. And to me, honestly, like a splash of water in this, which sounds crazy to throw it in $1,000 bottle of whiskey, but a splash of water, it just like I get
Makes
more
magic happen.
plum. It gets
Yeah.
even more like this. There is a little vanilla in here.
There is.
So I'm so the ex bourbon I'm guessing is prominent in this. I don't get the exact recipes on 27.
Yeah,
It's a
I
little
didn't
bit of a
figure.
secret. But
The
you can
answer
kind
is
of tell
delicious.
with your palate.
Yeah.
More vanilla typically means more Kirkcalba, which is
Sure.
American oak, which gives us vanilla, but you can kind of pick that out a little bit. I would bet at least 50-60%
Not
of this
saying.
bottle is ex bourbon.
It's fucking awesome.
You 27? Of course. Batch 5. There you go.
Yeah, so Donald says the best Redbreast he's ever had was a 25-year Low Mason Day whiskey, single barrel, bought a few years ago. Nice. Oh, speaking of single barrels, we do have to fit.
Good thing I used to play hockey.
Nice.
That was a good save, Eric, because that would have been very bad.
Would have smelled good in here.
Great. We had a guy drop his cigar blend outside. It smelled amazing out there.
You know, we're going to be careful. That's
Oh, yeah.
All right. We'll be
Good finish.
very, very careful with that. So speaking of single casks, he's never had any of these, so I'm going to make him drink.
Yes.
Terrible. I
I'm
know.
excited about
Terrible
this.
thing he has to do here.
These are so sometimes, and typically you see this in Europe with cool pubs and hotel groups and stuff. But Redbreast will do single bottlings for like the Gaelic liquor store, Celtic liquor store, sorry, and certain cool like cocktail bars will be able to get their own expression. But these two are single casks. One went to a liquor store in San Francisco.
what's
I believe the name is on the bottle, and then is it? And then one went to a liquor store in Boston.
Not seen a liquor store name, but that's all right. But yeah, I know you're right though on about where they went. I don't know. I don't see a liquor store
I
name.
did a
on it.
little bit of research. Oh, you know what I did? I looked up the batch number and bottle number, and
That's
that told
how.
me
Okay.
who got it.
That
Yeah.
answers your question. All right.
So there, how old this is, but
Oh,
Go shopping.
I
See if
got
you
this
can-
like COVID prior.
oh man,
Yeah,
someone
so this
found a
shares
dusty bottle of this somewhere.
Yeah, you get lucky. No, I have a very good friend that he's like, I got these special Redbreasts. Do you want them? Yeah. I was like, you have single cask Redbreast. The answer is yes. Always. But I'm glad you mentioned that, Donald. So
Oh,
These are not part of the standard tasting, but they are for the stream.
Small batch cask strength. I do, for the first time, I get a little ethanol. Usually that is masked to me by the maturation that we undergo at Redbreast, but I do actually get a little bit of that.
Yeah, 57.2, so 114.4. Yeah, there's definitely, it is, because it doesn't have an age on it. I would guess like 10 to 12.
I would guess 10 to 12. If 12 cask strength comes in at 115, you're doing the math on 2% a year, you can kind of, obviously there's some blending of barrels and stuff that go into the mix, but I would guess 10 to 13. That's kind of what the Iberian series are too.
But it is delicious. Good. Eric is no longer allowed to touch the bottles this evening. He's been banned.
Yeah, you guys missed it. Eric picked up the 27 and then he dropped it, but he caught it. Reflexes of a cat, that guy. Yeah,
for real.
That is so different from anything else we've had.
It is. It's vastly different, which is crazy. That's the whole thing. A single cast in general is. It's just this awesome, amazing thing that tastes different. But that's the great thing about it. It's just fun and cool. But do you like it? That's the part that matters.
I do. I wonder if they name drop the percentage on there with it being a one-off. I would love to know how much sherry. It just feels sherry dominant. It's so spicy.
Oh, it actually does hold. It's just 14 year. Holds us right there.
So, okay, so great. So it's up to 14 years of ex-bourbon, ex-sherry. It does not tell us the percentage.
Sherry, but it doesn't tell us the percentage.
It just feels super sherry.
Yeah, oh, it's definitely lots of sherry. And maybe it was mostly sherry for all we know.
They do have a sherry only that I've seen in Ireland at the Celtic Bottle Shop.
We had a buddy who took the hard hat tour there. And I guess there's 5 of them on the tour. And I guess he gets to try a 32-year port cask, solid port cask only. He cried. I was like, I would cry too. But he did bring us a single cask, 20-year sherry that was ridiculous.
Oh, man. I was in one of the barrel houses with Kevin O'Gorman, master distiller, last September. And we got to gather around a really old port barrel, and he pulled it right out, right into a Glencairn.
So good, I bet.
Yeah, floating pieces of wood and all. It was delicious.
Jeez. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Darn. Yeah, there were 4 that I know of, right? But I think we've got 2 of the 4, Donald, from what I understand, that were released in the States. Yeah, 2 went to Boston and 2 went to California. Man. All right, so let's see how vastly different these are or not. And then we're going to get off here so the shit show can start. It's really just us cleaning this place up and finishing.
Thank you.
And letting Joe have a break.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a break before I do this all over again. Right. No, but thank you for tuning in. I can't tell how many of you are here, but thank you for being here. If you don't make it tonight, I am on Instagram as Make Dram Sure. I'm happy to answer any questions. I post updates on things that are coming soon, and I'm always there for you for anything you may want to know about Middleton. And also, if you need to, I don't typically do this, but I'll do this for you guys. If you're going over to Ireland and you want to go on a tour, find me on Instagram, find my email, and we'll get you in. We'll do it. We'll just do that for you guys here. If you're a Whiskey Crusader, I'll get you in on a tour.
That'd be awesome. I got some guys that will definitely take you up on that offer that are going in the next couple of months.
I think I get to go in the next couple months too. I'm waiting to see what the travel ban is right now on the corporate world.
Right. And these are definitely different, which is nice, but the whole single cast thing, which is cool. Yeah, but delicious. Yeah, it doesn't suck.
Way less spice.
Yeah, totally.
The first one is like a clove, cinnamon, baking spice bomb, and then this is, Honestly, I also don't get that little ethanol. No,
you don't get that on this one at all. I like this one better personally.
I do too. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, it's good. Well, everybody, I'm glad you guys be here. And obviously, I know a lot of you guys, since it was early, a lot of you probably at work, of course, during this. So when you watch it later, hopefully you really enjoy it and pick up some Redbreast if you don't have certain ones. And go find all that stuff. Check out Joe and his Instagram. And hopefully go over to Middleton and check these guys out. And appreciate everybody being here. We're going to do a masterclass. So let's do Argument this evening. We will see you then. And cheers.
It's lunch, you guys.
Thanks for
It was a pleasure.
All right. Night.